Hey, it's Amy. I was wondering, are you a return listener? Welcome back. If you haven't had a chance already, can you leave us a review in your podcast player? We've been very fortunate. We have so many amazing reviews there. It's great because I get to see what we're doing right, what we can continue to do better. And so that feedback is very much appreciated. We've got 4.8 stars on Apple, which is so cool and is helping us rise up in the business charts. So much appreciated. And we need to continue that trajectory so that we can continue to affect more lives. So if you could just take a couple moments to do that today, it would mean the absolute world to me, and I will send you all the good vibes. Thank you. All right, on to the show.
There's something that you want to do, you have a hard time getting started on it, you feel paralyzed because you have so many ideas, but don't know where to start.
Welcome to Detail Therapy, where we come together to talk about how to create more confidence and build a business worth going all in on so you can go after the life you want. Subscribe for good vibes, and let's dive in.
It can get really confusing because you look around, you see everyone around you doing everything they're doing, showing you their highlight reels on social media, like, ain't life great? And you haven't even been able to make your first move. It's actually not weird at all that that's what's happening with you. Even successful people on a successful path, stop and think and really try to figure out where they start on something they want to do. The only difference between you and them is when you will start instead of if. You might be sitting here thinking, I don't even know where to start, I don't know what to do, and so I'm not even sure if it's going to happen. Somebody on the flip side of that has an idea, is already on a successful journey, or at least in a successful mindset, is saying, oh my gosh, I have this idea, and it's a matter of when. I have to go after the life I want. I have to do this thing. It's in me. It is something that must be done. So we've got to figure out how to get started because I can't unknow this. I have to do it. If you feel like you're close to that, that's what I want to help you with today. What is the first step to starting anything? And if you need a little bit of a pep talk on a regular basis on how to start, then I highly recommend that you bookmark this video. Maybe you add it to a playlist on YouTube, your favorites, or you just add it to your little browser so that you can come back here and we can have this chat again in the future. We have blown this up in our mind, this idea of starting. We have made it so hard, and yet it used to be so easy for us. Do you remember? Probably not. There was a time in your life when you didn't know how to walk, but you tried, and then you failed, and then you tried again, and eventually, for many people, you succeeded. There was probably a time when you couldn't talk. I know there was a time I couldn't talk. I don't act like it, do I? I couldn't talk. I tried. I made noises with my mouth, and my parents were looking at me, trying to get me to say something right, and I tried, and I tried, and I failed. But I didn't know I was failing. I was just trying. I was just doing. Eventually, I figured out the English language and I started to talk. We have blown up starting in our minds so much because we are looking around at everyone else. We have a lot of awareness about what's happening elsewhere. Even on other sides of the world we have never been. We are so aware, but we aren't self-aware in what it actually takes to be the person to do the thing to make it happen. We blow up starting because we see what a further point in the journey looks like. And it frustrates us. Potentially something we're actually excited about, potentially something that we want to do with our lives. We are frustrated when we see examples of it, when we see people paving the way. So what happened between trying to walk and talk and now with whatever your dreams are? Well, your self-awareness shifted. Your self-awareness shifted from just try to, there are outside opinions of what happens when I just try. There are people who want to tell me what they think about what I try. There are people who laugh when I try. There are people who commentate when I try. And so we've shifted that self-awareness to a place of people pleasing. And now I know you're gonna say, Amy, I am not a people pleaser. I just really don't like confrontation. So I'm just trying to get through life the easy way, the simple way, the way that is socially acceptable. But you are people pleasing when you try to avoid that confrontation. You are trying to make your life comfortable and acceptable for those who don't ever have to live it. I guess that's super nice of you, but how is that working out? We need to shift that self-awareness back to where it needs to be, on yourself, on what you can control. What you can control is you. You can't control someone's thoughts. You can't control what's happening in their life that makes you so interesting to talk about. You can't control any of that, but you can control yourself and your life. There are just a couple of things you have to do while you're here on earth that are mandatory. My dad always used to say, you have to die and you have to pay taxes. Those are your two obligations. Everything else is up to you. How do we get past that self-awareness that is in the wrong place? How do we start to reroute? How do we get it back? How do we remember that we have our own reasoned choice that is in our control? How do we do that? Here's your two-step process. The first thing you have to do to start is to stop. That's right. In order to start, you have to stop. That is my professional opinion. How exciting is that? You've got to stop with the overthinking. You've got to stop with giving everyone else authorization to say what is right for you and your life and your mindset. You have to stop taking advice from people whose investment in you is to minimize risk. It doesn't mean that their opinion doesn't matter. Mom and dad love you, appreciate you, want the best for me, but also don't want anything bad to happen. Maybe even your significant other as well. They just want to make sure that you're okay. Good. You've got to have people in your court who want you to be okay. You've also got to have people in your court who want to see you do more than what you think you're capable of. In order to do that, you've got to get outside of the people who only want to minimize risk for you. You need multiple members of the personal board of directors. You have to stop comparing yourself. You have to stop comparing yourself to everyone. Remember the last time you posted on Instagram, you were probably quite proud, right? Proud of the photo, proud of the video, proud of the moment. And that's because we share our best moments there. We are creating real memories we want to keep track of. We are creating memories we want our children's children to think of when they think of us. And that is great news. But when we look at that in real time and think, if someone else's building is getting bigger, mine is getting smaller, you've got it all wrong. You cannot start to build your building if you're in the middle of tearing someone else's down. Now, I also believe that you should just stop following anyone who doesn't make you feel good about yourself. Maybe you just need to take a break from someone else's highlight reel in order to feel a little bit better. That's great. Stop following someone. It doesn't make you a bad person. If you don't like my opinions on this channel or Instagram or Twitter, you should unfollow me, because if you believe in anything I'm saying, I believe you've got to have the self-awareness. You've got to shift your mindset and get it into a better place. Stop self-sabotaging. Stop eating, drinking too much. Stop forgetting to move your body. Stop doing the things that we know, because of science and books and words and everything that we have learned, help us progress. Stop doing that. Stop worrying about what the right way is. Stop worrying that it's not going to be the right way. If you're invested, if you're doing something that you have the audacity to decide is going to change your life is long. Your life is long. Try something, figure out it's not the right way, and then do something else. Don't keep looking for the courses and the secrets and the shortcuts to tell you the right way. Get some good guidance, get what you need, and start by stopping yourself from over-investigating, over-worrying, over-deciding that you're not going about it the right way because you don't have the right opportunities. Stop with the fixed mindset. When you remind yourself that everything is about learning. When you remind yourself that you are not a follower, you are a student. When you remind yourself that you take a step forward every single day, you're in the growth mindset. And when you do that, when you have that, that's amazing. We have to work toward beating down that fixed mindset as much as we can, and it's only by taking small steps every day in the right direction. It doesn't mean we don't have a bad day. We can't stop having a bad day. Bad days happen. But if we do just a little to make sure that the next day is better, we stop over analyzing what we don't even know.
Hey, it's Amy. I need to just acknowledge you for being a dear friend of this podcast. It means the world to me. I love my audio friends. But I also wanted to let you know something fun fact about me. I've been in this industry a long time. I got my start on YouTube, and I just love sharing ideas on video. I love to share them on podcasts as well, but I think you'll find that it's a little bit of a different experience, a lot more stuff for your eyeballs as well as your earbuds when you come over and join us on the YouTube channel. There's over 1,000 videos. All of them I have made because I refuse to give up helping you to go after the life you want. So come on over and subscribe. Join 400,000 other fabulous people who have done the same. It's all at youtube.com/AmyTV, and I'll see you there. All right, let's get back to the show.
One of my favorite things about stopping first is that when you figure out all the things that are happening in your life that need to stop, it creates so much space. I don't know if you're like this, but I struggle with this a lot. One of the mantras I have to remind myself of is take up space. Like sometimes I get really small and I'm like, I'm sorry, am I in your way? Like take up space. The only way to take up space to do the things that you want to do is to clear that space yourself. With your mindset, with the things that don't matter, clear that space. You're gonna need it a lot. So you have to stop to start. But then step number 2 is to do. You have to stop so that you can start, and then you do. Remember how we stopped worrying about the right way? We're gonna stop worrying about the right way because we're about to figure it out. We're going to do something about it. Every single day, we are gonna keep it up with the discipline and the reminders and the journals and the planners and the things that make us feel better about the fact that we know we can do something to move us forward every day. What is that thing? Take that step. You can continue to talk about what you want to do. You can continue to tell the whole world your plans, your philosophies. It's important for you to have those philosophies. But if you never actually execute on them, and by the way, I don't even need to see your Instagram of you executing, okay? It's what you're doing when no one's watching. You need to be in a space of do where you don't have time for that selfie, okay? Be in a space of I will move this forward as much or as little as I can in this moment. I will not worry about how productive I am. I will just do. I'm going to stop holding myself back. I'm going to stop with perfectionism, and then I'm going to do the thing I know how to do. If you are watching this video now and you're saying, great, got step number 1, but step number 2 is a struggle for me because I don't have any access to resources that would help me do that thing. I would love to hear what it is that you do not have resources for. I would love to hear it. Please tell me what you do not have the resources for. If you're watching this video, you have the resources. There are actually very many people who don't have the resources. They may have to go through extra hoops just to watch a video on the internet. Those people, let's hear what those lack of resources are. Let's talk about what's possible. Can you go to a library and start a membership for free and read a book that's going to advance you closer? That's doing something. Can you get advice from someone who is actively successful in their work and find out what their secrets are? Because their secrets are probably very similar to somebody that does something completely different, because it is about the fundamentals. We worry about the right way so we don't get started. And all along, the right way was just some basic stuff. Taking care of ourselves, our health, our mindset, and just moving the cause forward in simple ways every day. Surrounding ourselves with people who make us feel better about who we are and what we want to do. Those are the fundamentals. How are you doing every day on the fundamentals? What are you doing to move that forward? The fundamentals do not include watching unlimited television. The fundamentals do not include scrolling social media so far back that you're like, wow, this was posted 5 days ago. The fundamentals are the thing that move us forward. The shiny objects are not. So step number 1, stop everything that is taking up your space. And step number 2, do the thing, the one thing, the small thing, the little thing that's going to make you move forward in your mission toward the life that you want. Step 1, stop. Step 2, do. Repeat as necessary. Do not walk away from this experience and say that this is too simple, it's too easy, it's not specific enough for you to do the thing. I would like to know How has it been going for you? How much is still in your space that you haven't stopped? How little have you done to move this forward? Not how much have you talked about it. What have you done? I mentioned a personal board of directors earlier. If you're interested in more on that topic, I just posted a podcast on detail therapy recently, all about creating your personal board of directors. So that may be something that could help you as well. Check that out. If you want even more resources, make sure you check out the blog over at gatlu.com. So much information over there on helping you go after the life you want. And while you're there, check out my free audiogram to discover the 7 essential details for going after the life you want. You'll get some email updates in the future after you get that instant audio download in your inbox. Next time you see someone achieving excellence, don't just wish for the same. Congratulate them in your mind for all the work, all the doing that they have done in order to get to where they are. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers.